Mic check, mic check. Is this thing on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Guess what time it is? It's Tuesday, another episode of Off the Fence. I'm Finch, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Did you miss me? Is what I want to know. Did you miss me? I missed y'all, man. Listen, being gone from you guys is difficult, man, because I miss their interaction. I miss your witty banter, your comments, and all those types of things. But listen, guys, right now I want you to share and like. Hit that share button, hit the like button, share this with your friend. This is a conversation you guys are not going to want to miss. Tonight we're talking about the power of orgasm, touchless orgasm, that is. I know y'all talk about, oh my goodness, touchless orgasm? Yes, touchless orgasms and arousals. And listen, I'm going to say this right now as a disclaimer. Dr. V got the news feed buzzing with her talks tonight about naked arguments. Y'all know how many inboxes I had to fill this week for that? I don't care. We having a conversation tonight now. Y'all know we going to talk about it like we need to talk about it because I think that's something that we don't talk about. As a culture, as people, we don't talk about the things we need to talk about. So you guys want to stick around for that conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube, click on the notification bell so you guys are notified each and every time a new episode airs or a video is posted. Make sure you're liking and sharing right now. Like and share on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're watching from. Make sure you're liking and make sure you are sharing, and make sure that you subscribe if you are new. Welcome, guys. We're here each and every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's what we do. And our goal here is to help you scale, climb, or clear the fence you might be sitting on. Yes, Off the Fence with Finch starts right now.
I turn it on and I leave it on.
Broadcasting around the world on the World Wide Web. This is
Off the Fence with Finch.
All I can say is wow.
I'm addicted to this.
Oh man, I'm addicted to it too. That's why I'm here each and every Tuesday night. Hey guys, welcome to Off the Fence. Listen guys, my first guest is a lover of all things communication and arts, well recognized for student and community engagement. Her corporate career began at Cable News Network as a director of international training department and spanned tremendously. An eclectic combination of a private Catholic school, 2 HBCUs, and a university firmly rooted in psychology. That lets you know why she's going to have this conversation tonight. But her most prized possession and role is mother of 2 beautiful daughters. And we are having a fireside chat with her right now. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Dr. V. Now we got to unmute your mic.
I had a whole dance going on.
Hey, listen, you was in there.
Can you hear me?
All kind of trouble this week.
I'm so excited. It's what we need to talk about, though. It's what we need to talk about.
People are talking about arguing naked, saving relationships. What?
It's what we need. It's what we need.
So before we get into that tumultuous conversations, all right. So let's talk about you.
Okay.
Now you have. Now I saw the combination. It's an eclectic.
Absolutely.
So that means what?
It means that I have been educated in all over. I've been educated all over, and domestically and internationally. And I have been in HBCUs. I've been in PWIs. I've been in all different kinds of environments, which gives me kind of like a really good mix of what I'm looking through, of the lens that I'm looking through, because everybody's looking through a lens, but my lens is very diverse because I've seen it from Morehouse Med School. I've seen it from Clark. I've seen it from Argosy. I've seen it from I've seen it from Taipei. You see me? I've seen it
Right.
from Australia. I've been going from Hawaii to Australia singing and talking to people, right?
Okay.
That's education. And so the eclectic part is because it's been a lot of different places to go. But the solid part is I always engage with the people that are there because people, books, and places that you go change your life.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So we're gonna kick the door open
Okay.
because I saw a snippet of something you said, and I definitely wanted to delve into that question. You talked about no one can outlove a woman. Now there's a bunch of men looking at you like with the side eye. Let's talk about that for a second.
I love it. So here's the deal. Any man that can come right up on the stage right now and deliver a baby, please do that. Because I do need him in order to make the process come together. I think that's the greatest gift that you can give a human is a human, right?
Mm,
Birthed out of love. That's the greatest gift you can give a human. And so that's why it gets all turtled up when people are fighting while people are pregnant. That's what it is. That's the problem because you're messing around with the greatest gift ever. So as a woman, when you make me feel secure,
mm,
right? Because at the hospital, what do? They put the lady in the restraints. They put her in a bed. Even if she's delivering with a midwife, it's a very secure, serene place. Because
uh-huh.
once that serenity comes through, you're gonna deliver. Now,
Mm,
when I deliver to you, my handsome king, whatever you have in your heart, I'm able to help you birth it and
okay.
I'm gonna nurture it. But all I need from you is a little bit of security so I can let the waters part. Get it? So that's what you need. When you secure me, I'm gonna birth and nurture you.
Okay. So
Yeah,
when I secure you, you're going to birth and nurture me.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you had a statement just a moment ago in that you said make you feel secure. So would you say is it part of a man's responsibility to make a woman feel secure, or is that her responsibility?
Yeah, first of all, I know that it is my responsibility to love myself
Okay.
because I do not believe that it's a 50-50 kind of. I don't believe that. You need to come 100% and 100%, and that comes from heart work, that comes from shadow work, that comes from, oh, my daddy wasn't there, oh, my mama didn't do. Okay, you 152 now. You need to remedy that so that you can come with a whole package to another whole human, right?
Okay.
But it is his responsibility to make sure that the ground is solid around us. My ground around me, I got that. But the ground around us, that is his. Yeah, he's supposed to come with a piece of the land. Check your Bible now. I ain't no gold digger, but I'm just saying he is supposed to come with a piece of the land. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So when you say he's supposed to check the foundation, um we're looking at, because we have these types of conversations all the time
Right.
surrounding men, women, roles, responsibilities, and everybody has an opinion or a insight on what that should look like. But you mentioned love a moment ago, and
Hmm.
I kind of want to touch on that because I think it plays a part in what I want to say as well. So when you look at love, how would you define or identify what love actually is?
It's an action word that governs two great listeners and two greater forgivers.
Two great listeners and two greater forgivers.
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
it, it's an action word. So it's that commitment that I will make you accepted in the beloved. I'm your beloved and you are mine.
You
Right.
my beloved.
But boy, don't start it now. All right. All right. So it's my commitment to you because you're not gonna always love V what she did.
Okay.
But to make the commitment of, I know she wasn't exactly right, but her foundation, her heart says this is what she's made out of. So here's the thing. Before we commit though, let me roll back. Before we commit, we have to make an absolute identification whether or not this person is a present and a promise or a project.
Okay.
Okay, because if the person is a project, that's long, that's short term. That's what you get at school. Get your
Mm-hmm.
instructions, do that, go ahead. So, and the problem is we get projects, things we pour into, confused with presents and promises, those things that should come back to us.
Okay.
hmm So if I can identify you as a present and a promise in my life, and you go awry, my commitment should be, let's see how we can fix that.
Okay. Now, is that why you tell singles that there's no meeting by chance?
Oh, there's no meeting by chance, not one bit.
So let me get this straight now, because I gotta set the framework. You saying when we meet people,
Right.
okay, there's no happenstance, coincidence, there's no meeting by chance. What would you call that? This is I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this.
It's definitely part of your fabric, and that person is meant to be a present and a promise or a project. The problem is when you get them confused, and when you get
Confused? Okay.
confused, because when the person when that person is supposed to come across our path, and we're meant to give insight, we're meant to mentor, we're meant to pour into, and the person keeps going, then that's a project. But when we treat it like a present and hold on to it, and it wasn't really ours because it's supposed to keep moving, that's how the fight happens.
Oh.
That's how the fight happens.
Now, and then when you say the fight, elaborate a little bit about the fight.
I like you. You don't like me. Yes, you do like me a little bit. Oh, baby, don't worry. Don't worry about it. He just don't know what he wants. You just have to help him. Let me tell you. Just this is a pause in the for the ladies. Every man knows what he wants when he sees it, and he knows how to stop and get it. So when you get a man and he don't have time for you, that ain't your dude.
Oh.
It's just not your dude, because every hunter knows how to go after what he wants.
Okay.
Every hunter.
Yeah. So you're telling the ladies who are listening or watching this worldwide that every man that they meet that is a person of interest, he knows immediately or in some vicinity of a time frame that's short in nature if he wants her or not.
He does.
Ah.
He does. He does.
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
I absolutely know that I'm right, because you can see, so you can Men in Black yourself after this. So
I'm not gonna be able to forget it.
hilariously funny. So in my lifetime, I have dated gentlemen that owned the corporation, right? And he had time while he's in the limo on the way to the meeting to say, "Hey V, what's up? What you need, dear? Everything okay? Oh, your car broke down. Oh, don't hold on. Hey, can you send that car for her?" You see what I mean? But he ran the corporation. So when somebody says to me, "Oh, I said, I did."
You like, that ain't it.
And honestly, and I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later. I definitely have had 2 weddings and not 1 marriage. So I am very aware. I'm aware, right? Because even in my lifetime after those occasions, after I got those 2 T-shirts, I still didn't meet a lot of bad guys. I gotta honestly say, I didn't know that there was a shortage, because I always in my lifetime have been approached by very nice gentlemen, and that's the truth. I hadn't had a lot of pickle heads.
So you just said something. You said 2 weddings, no marriage.
Absolutely. 2
We
weddings.
can't we can't leave that right there.
Okay.
We just can't leave that sitting on the table all shiny and no, we can't do that.
So 2 weddings. So beautiful, both of them. Um, Storybook probably could have been patented. The last one, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous. But first time, just my friend. We were the best of friends. We were both about to go off to grad school, and he said, "You want to get married?" And I said, "Yeah." And that was it. We were young. We were having fun. That's how it was. Still friends to this day.
Uh,
Um, Next young man wrote rougher. Um, Domestic violence part of the fabric,
uh-huh.
and for me, no biblical scholar can absolutely convince me that that is not abandonment. It is, and so
Mm.
you cannot connect with what you abandon. So yeah, so I have those t-shirts and have taken those t-shirts to the counselor, ironed them out, refurbished them, and got a whole new wardrobe on that. And that's how my concept of I really began to study that thing and about loving and you know
Mm.
and in understanding the other human and communication. But first, make sure it's a present and a promise.
Make sure it's a person. So here's a question for you.
Okay.
Are relationships difficult or are the people in the relationship that make things difficult?
Ooh, this is so rotten. But I honestly think that they're not, because I would say that
You think relationships are not difficult?
I don't. I think
Okay.
they take work and commitment consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody says to you, "Oh man, it's so hard for me to love you,"
Oh,
that's a very rough statement. And
woo.
that is not the essence of, because love is supposed to be patient, it's supposed to be kind, it's supposed to be of good report, it's supposed to be. So when these things inherently
Uh,
become oxymoronish,
uh-huh.
it's time to look at the concepts. So no, I don't think it's absolutely difficult. I think we just got to find a right match and then decide to work hard. To
Okay.
work when I say hard, I'm not talking about against each other. I'm saying with each other. Baby, let's be intentional. Let's
Alongside
do
of each other.
it alongside, shoulder to shoulder. There you go.
Got you. Got you. All right. So let's talk about naked arguments because people want to know about this. Your thing is relationships will last a lot longer if people learn how to argue naked. You have to explain that to my audience.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of backstory. We said that domestic violence was part of my fabric, and in my healing, we were joking around. It was like a bunch of girls one day, and I said, you know what, the next guy, when I get married, he is going to be 6'7" and 135 pounds. So just in case something happens, I can blow him over like the wind, right? And so and then I thought about it. I was like, no, because it's not like the kind of dude I like. So God, stop playing, because I don't believe in God to send you what you need, not what you want. I think because He created me, He does know what I want, and He'll send that as well. So that's a whole nother.
Okay.
But anyway, but I did think, I said, but I don't never ever want to just argue with my husband. And I have been in a relationship like my college sweetheart. We didn't argue. We were just good friends. We loved each other. It was great. So so I just decided, I said, you know what? When I get married for real, let him just look like he about to argue. I'm gonna start taking it off at the door. Whatever it is, I'm stripping it. And let's just go on upstairs, honey, and let's talk this thing through, because I don't think it's gonna take a long time to get these arguments over with if it's just me and you. And I played around with that idea and played around with that idea. And then decided God gave me the vision of being a family doctor, but for meaning that I would counsel you.
Mm-hmm.
I would, I'm a licensed minister to marry you. And then I would be with you 2 or 3 times a year. And then when you have your kids, you guys come over so that just like you do your physical body, you would do your mental, your heart body.
Okay.
And in that, that whole concept, that's how we came up with the naked news is the vulnerability of the message delivered, right? So when you physically strip,
Mm-hmm.
then those practices that come along with you mentally stripping and becoming vulnerable, they become second nature. You
Okay.
can't really be so mad if I'm this cute and then you just come on. Cause what else, baby? What else is it? You're gonna you. I feel like you. I always felt like that it would work that you would begin to focus because the problem is focusing on the challenge
Mm.
instead of the other person, right?
Right.
Right. So if I can focus on the challenge. So when you start to talk about nakedness and vulnerability, when you talk about as humans, we have an absolute need to thrive through touch, through connection. Because babies that you don't touch, they do what? Finch? They
They
die.
cry. Yeah.
They die. No, in hospital, like if you look in, I mean, reports, the failure to thrive syndrome, that's what it's called. If you don't pick up a baby, cuddle it, that baby can actually die. It's called failure to thrive. All right. So that vulnerability, our need to connect, and that absolute understanding that the other person is accepting of us,
Mm-hmm.
that's where naked news came for me. The impact, because the concept of fighting fair. Have you ever heard of that concept?
Fight it.
Right. So the concept of fighting fair, when you look at all the studies, it's like it's a million models of fighting fair, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of have to temper it to you as a couple. But all of those studies say that they push couples that fight fair ahead of the game in the percentage of staying together.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So you talking not just you talked about getting naked downstairs and getting upstairs. We ain't making it upstairs.
Okay.
We ain't making it upstairs. Why? If we naked in the hallway in the foyer, why we got to go upstairs?
Well, okay, to each his own. I'm not going to sanction anybody. That's your home, but or your backyard or your car, whatever. Uh, but the point is the vulnerability that you bring. See, when you're taking off stuff, it
Right.
reminds you to take off stuff. It really is a powerful concept. And so then when I married my first couple, I was able to talk about that. And then
Okay.
all during the last couple of years, I've been talking to couples about it. And please try it. Tell me, try it. And so one lady I was talking to one day, she was like, well, I just think that's just, she just flat out, she was like, well, I just think that's stupid. And I think sexual, you're objectifying women. And I did remind her that the man was going to be naked too. But the thing I really reminded her of was how was it going the way she had been doing it.
That part.
How's it going? How's it going, baby? And so if this will, because we can't say Christian marriages are better. They 70, I think 70% of them crash out. We
Right.
can't say this kind of marriage is better, that kind of marriage. It's something wrong in our communication practices, and sex is something that we don't talk about. Even as Christian women, I would be, it's something we need to talk about. And I don't understand why every day we get up, we eat breakfast, we feed our bodies, but we're going to send our significant other out hungry with a O.
Woo woo.
don't don't send don't
Starve.
don't
Malnutrition.
don't send me out hungry.
Done run amok. Let us
Feed
straight.
me. Prayer and passion, I believe they go together. Do it every morning.
Well, listen, we're going to continue this conversation in the clubhouse right after this show. I mean, listen, this is a great conversation. I think so many people need to be privy to this because they don't know how to get through the rough patches. And I think that's a great antidote. Arguing while naked strips you not only of your outer shell, but also of your inner shell, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. V, if people want to connect with you, how can they do so?
At Dreamkeeper, DreamKeyper, on IG, and Valencia Dream 7 at gmail.com. There you go, the Dr. V. I'm waiting for you. Oh, and listen, they can connect with Kaleidoscope Love. I forgot.
Yeah, talk about that right quick.
The poetry book. Okay, so poetry book, Kaleidoscope Love, on Amazon already. Beautiful, beautiful poems. They will help you get naked. I'm telling you. Yeah, they'll help you get naked. So call me if you need a private poetry reading. y'all need a little bit. Okay, really, it's a great book, and it's a great book just for love. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Y'all check out Dr. V. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to see you in the clubhouse at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, when we come back, we have the Orgasmic Whisperer is here. Oh, this is going to be a conversation. We're talking about the power of arousals and touchless orgasms. Don't go anywhere. It's Off the Fence. I'm Finch. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new Roku Stream Bar. Powerful 4K streaming, premium audio, all in one. Upgrade any TV with America's #1 TV streaming platform. Stream the newest and most popular channels in brilliant picture quality. Hear every detail as the front speakers boost volume and clarity, while the side speakers fill your room with sound. You'll enjoy a cinematic experience for all of your entertainment, featuring Dolby Audio. Setup is a cinch with everything you need in the box, including one voice remote to control it all. Plus, easily expand for even bigger sound. Powerful, smooth streaming and cinematic sound, all in one. Happy streaming.
Hey guys, welcome back to Off the Fence. I'm Finch, and it's a great day, guys. Thank you all for joining us. We just, if you missed any of this past episode, we talked with Dr. V. We're going to continue the conversation over in the clubhouse after this about naked news, arguing naked. And right now, my guest tonight has a passion for practical and magical uses of body sex, emotions, pain, fear, pleasure, and that magic word, orgasms. For 18 years, she has curated group experiences that serves beings who wish to surrender to healing traumas of all origins. She is known around the world as a clinical and soul sexologist and orgasmic whisperer, and we get one-on-one with her right now. Nikki Morgan is here.
Hey, Finch.
Hey, now what you got on over there?
Oh, I was having an argument,
Okay.
and then I was like, oh snap! I gotta get on with Finch. Let me hurry up and just kind of put a little something on real quick. Because Dr. V was speaking my life, so I'm just,
So you was having an argument and you got naked, and then you remembered you had to do the podcast, and then you put on.
I mean, out of courtesy and respect for your audience, I don't want to blow out their eyes and their heads. So, you know what I mean? But no, actually, I generally always walk around naked. So, and I feel most comfortable nude. So I do my best to find a medium where I can still be comfortable and you can still not get kicked off of the internet.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much for thinking about the FCC tonight. Okay.
Trying, we finding this resonance here. This is what we doing.
Well, I would gather that you walking around naked would kind of constitute you being a sexual alchemist, right?
No, my nudity is based in just freeing the natural body. Uh, they're not inclusive of one and the other. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So your body is like you've seen it as a caged bird with clothes on, and you need to free it.
You know what? Yes, yes. And if I'm wearing clothes, it is for adornment purposes. So yes.
So, but you do this around the house. Do you go outside naked or?
I find in the house I'm naked 90%, 99.9% of the time.
That's a lot of percentages. That's a
I
lot of percentages.
welcome and any guest, they're welcome to be as comfortable as they wish. And then what I do is I also bring a lot of, if it's outside of the house, I find nude beaches, I do nude events, anything that allows us to, again, free the natural body. I just did a retreat 2 months ago, and we were doing a nude, we were having so much fun. We ended up doing a nude fashion show with runway and everything.
Wow. Okay.
So much fun. Yeah.
All right. So you describe yourself as a sexual alchemist, right? Is that the
I am.
proper term? Okay. So for the listening audience, can you describe what you do as a sexual alchemist?
So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking, I'm using arousal to transform, transmute any emotions or stagnant energies or belief systems or limited belief systems into whatever it is that we're looking to create, so that it no longer stagnates our primordial being or our
Okay.
prime beingness, the part of ourselves that is all our infinite selves versus our identity. So their sexual energy is creator energy. So it is that energy that that animates everything in the universe, everything outside of the universe, everything beyond it. So so basically we're using that to transfer into what it is and how we make things matter.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I watched the video you had on meditation and masturbation.
Mhm.
Now that word is dirty to a lot of people. I don't find it to be dirty, either one of them. I found that video to be interesting. It reminds me of what I understand about tantric sex. So for the audience, can you explain the connection between meditation and masturbation?
Sure. So, so one, just to first address your masturbation mention. So, masturbation, like the etymology of this word, it does mean like to beat yourself up. However, when I say self-love, or self-loving or self-pleasuring, a lot of times it's still so nuanced that people may not acknowledge what I'm actually talking about. So
True.
sometimes I just keep the word masturbation, but I own it and I transmute it so people can understand. So outside of that, the balance, what is alike between these two in arousal and orgasm, there's something that happens neurologically with us. It offers, it taps into our alpha, our theta, and our gamma brain waves.
Mhm.
And when it taps into these brain waves, these are brain waves in our meditation as well as our aroused states or our orgasmic states. Both do this. This is where you might find yourself in your most in the most malleable manifestation portion of your life, right? Of your day. You can be when you're just waking up. It could be when you're daydreaming. And it also, they both also get uh, your brain waves also match the heartbeat of the earth.
Okay.
So when it's aligned with the heartbeat of the earth, then again you become in harmony. You become in harmony and resonance with your universe. So that's another reason why. So what you think becomes. Your sexual energy bridges your imagination to your physical reality. Of course, there's also serotonin, dopamines that also run through the body.
Mhm.
My favorite is oxytocin because oxytocin offers, it's a trust hormone. And so when you're sitting in that trust, it allows you more space in your mind and your spirit to find other creative ways to address a situation, to find ways to transmute a situation. And pain even doesn't feel the same as it would if you were in your restrained way of being.
Okay. All right. Now, when I see the term soul sexologist,
Yes.
what does that mean? Like, are you running around here snatching souls at the midnight hour?
I will show up in your dreams.
Wait a minute. Like, are you showing up uninvited, or what you doing in the dreams?
I'm not showing up if I'm not invited. I'm not invited. I do not. Same with our conversations. Consent is a very, very big thing for me, spiritually as well as physically.
Okay. So you showing up in people's dreams. How does this happen? Walk me through that.
Yeah, well, I magnetize who is in need of, or who is most ready, who is most available for the work that is to be done.
Okay.
And so when I say soul sexologist, a lot of times when we're thinking about sex and sexuality, we think of just body sex. We think of, ooh, this feels so good. I'm so horny. Oh my God. Oh, my boyfriend this, my girlfriend this. Oh my gosh, all these things. Already. But we add other layers to it. Other layers like understanding that orgasm is a language that allows us to navigate our infinite self. So what I mean by that is, imagine that if everything already exists, if we are these infinite beings, everything already exists. And this is things that you can play around even in physics, in your quantum physics, and so on and so forth. So you can research that if you wish. Mm-hmm. But where I am with it is everything already exists. And so when you have the awareness of whole self, right, that includes shadow self, that includes all of acknowledgement of you are another self. This person sitting next to me is another self, right? Mm-hmm. So in understanding that, I can center in my primordial self, in my soul self. And when I start to make decisions from my soul or my primordial desire, from my primordial knowing, then life starts to become my lover. Okay? And then it's a matter of my relationships, not just with my partners that I might interact with in my day-to-day, but literally, because life is my lover, there are different types of communication. There's different types of observation. There are other senses that we use. There are other ways to experience an ecstatic embodiment, an orgasmic life that you can access. And I'm not saying this poetically. I mean this very, very literally. I mean, with sexual energy, which sexual energy is creator energy, it allows you to tap into your telepathy. It allows you to tap into your other selves, your adjacent lives, your parallel lives. It allows you to connect to those things. It allows you to connect to your Akashic records. There are so many things. It is limitless what can be done when our whole collective is moving from our primordial self. And a lot of people will call this flow. However, there is a deeper understanding of flow when you start to accept the body in a different way, when you have a deeper intimacy and also a different kind of communication with your organs, because your organs also have consciousness.
Right.
So this is what I'm talking about.
Now, you said partners. Do you believe is it beneficial for men and women to have multiple partners that they engage in? Is that healthy?
The question is loaded for me. I think in that question, there's an assumption that there is a better and a worse. And I believe that we each have an individual way of communicating. We all have a way of what is best for the moment. Mm-hmm. So if you only have the capacity and you have a specific understanding of love that may have you speak to only one person, then that's just what it is.
Okay.
You know, for me, I was born. There's never been a time that I haven't felt that that everything is my lover, and it's okay for me to have multiple lovers. And frankly, if I'm enjoying something a whole lot and I love someone, I just naturally want to share. And of course, that doesn't mean that there's not negotiation of what that means in each relationship, just like you have friends. Same thing, you know?
Right.
So that's, yeah. So it's not a healthy or a better or worse for me, not at all.
It's not a better or worse. It's just a preference of choice and what people feel is best for them. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's a matter of awareness. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what is the secret behind the touchless orgasm? Because people have been asking me that all week. I want to know.
The secret. You know, the secret is actually letting go of duality.
Okay.
It's letting go of duality. If there is one thing, there are many things to learn in it before you can acknowledge what that is. And certainly I can show you how to feel through it. But if you really want to understand it in a detail that allows you cognitive understanding, it requires letting go of duality. It doesn't mean that you can't play within duality, but stepping outside of it allows you a different understanding of your identity. It allows you to understand what parts of your personhood is a habit, what parts of your personhood is actually coming from center. And then when you start making those decisions, the decisions that you make will have less entropy and be more resonant with the systems that are open and willing to resonate with you.
Okay. All right. So I've seen videos where I saw you moving your hand over the top of people.
Yeah.
You wasn't touching them. You're doing this kind of thing right here, right?
Yeah.
What happens during this process?
What happens during this process? Do you want to ask me a more specific question, or?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is what's happening with the person and what's happening within you?
Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah, I like that question. Thank you.
I knew you would like that. I knew it.
You know, I like you, Finch. So.
Okay.
Okay. So what's happening with the body that's laying in front of me, and I'm saying the body because we are not our bodies.
Right. Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm assisting the body in tapping into its parasympathetic system, but then also helping the body to, in essence, rest, sleep. And in that, while being in that wakened sleep, your soul, your energetic body starts to express itself. And in expressing itself, your physical body has to reconcile, what is this infinite? My body understands that it is limited. What is this infinite moving through me? This sexual energy, this creator energy that's coursing through me, that's bringing me all of the awareness when I'm in my parasympathetic system.
Okay.
So when we are in that space, it creates an ecstatic feeling. Sometimes people leave their bodies. Sometimes when the sexual energy is moving through their bodies, that creator energy, that life force energy is moving through their bodies, it's breaking loose and shaking loose any of the subconscious that lives in the body, the old memories, the fights that you never let go of, the heart hurts, the I'm angry at my boyfriend, whatever the thing is, it pushes and moves it and transforms it. And my personhood also steps out of the way. I call it like I sit in my personhood sits in my back seat, or rather Nikki sits in my back seat. right?
Okay.
And so my primordial self works only as a vessel to just assist in moving this energy. That's it.
So you like a traffic cop. You just helping them move
You know
through.
what I actually call it? The other day it popped in for me. I called it I'm a cosmic plumber.
Ah.
I was like, this is kind of like plumbing. This is like,
you like liquid Drano. Okay. Little liquid Drano.
If there's a little clog there, I'm gonna be like, here's an orgasm here and an orgasm here, because the orgasm is a surrender. It's a release, right? So yes, if there's a clog, you need to come see me, or not.
Now, what would the or not be?
Or not could be that you take one of my meditation, masturbation Monday classes, learn it, feel it, and then do it for yourself and find sacred time. Take your time, find patience in your pleasure. Take care of your body in such a way that you feel safe, you feel belonged, you feel there is no strain. You have nothing to do but be. And when you're in your beingness, then all your answers, all the questions, all the challenges that you're having, that you're bucking up against, they're going to show themselves, and then you have an opportunity to do something about it. Or in Taoism, they call it a point of no action, or Wu Wei, right? Where you allow yourself to be. You are in the being. That's what orgasm actually is. It shuts down your frontal lobe. And because it shuts down your frontal lobe, in that prefrontal cortex lies your identity. Okay. It lies your fear. It lies your inner critic. So when you're in that orgasmic place, you're not thinking about, oh my God, what about those bills? Oh my God, what am I going to wear tomorrow? And if you are thinking about that, then maybe you want to come see me or not.
You wasting somebody's time if you think about bills while you in the act.
Right. And you start to learn because you're in that beingness, you start to approach things from a different source. The value of something changes because you understand abundance differently. So rather than working for paying your bills, you work for how can I make sure that my lifestyle meets the requirements of my soul self. And because you are answering that question instead of that question with the bills, then you are now in a holistic understanding of what you require.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm itching to know the touchless orgasm. Can someone do it to you?
Honestly.
What would it take for someone to razzle and dazzle and
Thank you for asking me that question, Finch. Thank you for that. I have been plotting for this time for millennia. And so now that there's so many more people that have sat down in their skin, addressed their emotions, got to unpack all of that stuff, now we can start to learn touch this orgasm in a way that is not so showy and performative. But now we can get into it. And now that we can get into it, maybe this is the time. We're in the pandemic time. There are people that they're much more aware. We are experiencing a massive awakening across the planet. And I am ready to lay down and
okay.
Yeah. So thank you for that question, because the direction is in the question. And now that you have asked it, it's out there. And I am an orgasmic witness. So it will be. It will be.
It will be. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna continue this conversation in the clubhouse. Are you available to join me for this conversation in the clubhouse? If not, it's fine. If not, it's fine.
You know what? I'm reading Audre Lorde's Audre Lorde's erotic uses of the erotic.
Okay.
So if you ping me, I can be there for a little bit and we can talk a little bit more about it. I don't want to make it a quickie, but I certainly will take my time in the time that we do have.
Nobody likes a quickie, Nikki.
I mean, it depends on what the situation is.
I guess it does depend.
I will tell you, you know what? If you allow me to, for that quickie, I can come into the clubhouse and I can certainly bring people through a 6-minute orgasmic breathing exercise.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that. And the reason I'm even saying that is because what I do in the mornings in Clubhouse, I have a room where I offer vibration meditation, where people are using their vibrators with their meditations, and we only do it for 15 minutes, and they get profound information about their bodies and their experience within that. Okay. So I'm happy to do that if you're open to it.
I am open to it. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
You said, All right. So can you describe how orgasms can help with certain sex specific illnesses such as prostate cancer in men and fibroids in women?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. So firstly, when we're addressing our when there's I'm sorry, I have a huge horse of a dog over here who's making some beautiful rumbling noises, and it's very resonant for me.
Maybe he got a soul sexologist visiting him in his dreams right now.
Yes, probably, most probably, yes. So just our genitals alone. There's so many ways to address this, but there's something in particular I can address right now here. Our genitals have they have reflex. There's reflexology points in our genitals. Okay. Right. And prostate cancer as well as fibroid also speak to an under or an overactive or blocked sacral energy. Okay, so that deals with our desires, that deals with our with how we feel about our relationships, our fathers, our mothers, our sisters, all of those things. And then when we look at it in a whole people, right? Because those two things that you mentioned are both leading in Black people. Those two are leading in Black people, right? And so when we look at the emotional aspects that that are being addressed in these environments, we can see how these ailments that you've mentioned, how they have a ratio of what those emotions are, how they're processed in that in that, and how high those statistics are. Okay. So with touchless orgasm, with touchless orgasm, what it does is, because we're using life force energy to move, we tap into our parasympathetic system. It allows us an understanding of where and what is going on with our organs, so that if there are emotions that are not being expressed, then it will be in that moment, or it gives you an indicator that, oh, this is what I must address. And what I mean by that is, for example, your kidneys, right? Your kidneys is something that it gets depleted by fear, worry, anxiety. Or for example, your bladder. Your bladder deals with worry, anxiety, mistrust. So there are things that different organs will process different emotions, and these emotions are energies, and if they are stagnant, then at some point they start to materialize. Okay, and so touchless orgasm allows for processing of that. It moves these things. Not only that, but because you're in that, because it brings you center, because it allows you center, because it moves all these things out of it, it quiets the mind, it allows you to feel, it allows you to express from soul center, then it naturally you feel like you want to take better care of yourself without having to think about it. You naturally feel like, oh, okay, you know what? I feel like I just want to work out today. Or you naturally feel more playful. You know, you naturally want to have joy. You naturally want to laugh. You know, there's a way, there's a charisma that happens with this. Mm-hmm. All of these things are so intertwined, and we've been coming from a culture, our Western culture, that's perpetuated compartmentalization of all of these things. And right. So that's what the challenge is in that. So absolutely, it can help in so many ways. Not to mention just magnetizing the things that you require in order for that to happen. I'll give you one example. During our during the clubhouse, during our vibration meditation, there was someone that mentioned that in our breathing, in our orgasmic breathing, they felt pressure in the lower parts of their body, specifically in their genital area. As we started to get deeper with this, I let the person know that, oh, okay, this is where you're having challenges in the kidneys. Oh, okay. And then when we observed that we had issues in the kidneys, this person was able to identify, oh my gosh, my mother, my mother's mother, my mother's mother, my mother's mother, they all on my maternal side, they all suffer from kidney disease. Right. And so here it is now, there's an opportunity for this person to now treat their bodies different, address the emotions that I addressed with them, that they see in their family, to now deal with it differently. Now that they know this is what could happen. And so naturally, like there's so many benefits to touchless orgasm. I can go on and on and on, but I know you got a time limit, so.
Man, I think this is amazing. I had never heard about touchless orgasm until I had an encounter with you. And so I think people definitely want to learn a lot more about that. If they want to connect with you, how can they do so?
Sure. All of my handles and my website is nikkiexperience.com. So that's NIKKIEXPERIENCE.com. That's on Instagram. That's my website. That's Facebook. All of it. All of it is my Twitter. Everything is Nikki Experience. I do have another page on Instagram just in case, because I have nude things and things that say sex. So, you know,
you get arrested often, huh?
Sorry?
You get arrested often, huh? Online.
Oh my goodness. All I'm doing is just trying to spread some pleasure in the world. You know what I'm saying? Can you just get out of my way?
They don't want you to do that, Nikki. They're not gonna let you do that. They're not gonna let you be great out here.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable. So it is. You know. It's like a bankrupt. It's a bankruptcy that's still trying to invest. Like, get out of here. Like, you done. Just let it go and let us be free. So we working on it. We're doing that right now. We're doing that right now.
We're doing it right now. So how many dreams you visit per night as a soul sexologist?
You know, all time is now. So when you are ready is when I'll come.
Okay. So when someone is ready, then you show up.
Yeah.
So
that's how it works. Or they feel drawn. I don't have to I don't have to like advertise and say, hey, I'm a sexologist, come and see me, even though I said that a bunch of times here because I'm playing. But truly, like, the people that come to see me for real, like, they do, like, they've had dreams about me and they said, well, I needed to reach out to you. Or they heard my voice and they said that I don't know why, but I just needed to reach out to you. It's because it's soul work. It's soul work. It's just what it is. There's you know, this is the reality that we're living now.
Let me find out Nikki out here snatching souls.
I used to do that, but not anymore.
What you do now, Nikki? You ain't snatching no souls. What you doing? Huh?
No, now I have so much company in the house, so I don't have to misbehave like how I used to. Now I have so many more playmates, so many more awakened souls that I can speak to. I'm grateful for Clubhouse and being able to do that. So, now I'm settled in, and I just want to play and have fun with everyone, and spread the joy and the awareness, and continue to reflect each other. That's what we're doing.
Got you. Yeah. Well, we're going to continue this conversation briefly in the clubhouse. Nikki, thank you so much for coming on Off the Fence and getting people off the fence about their sexuality and touchless orgasm and knowing the power of arousals. I really appreciate you doing that.
Oh, I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for reaching out. And okay, I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to see you in the clubhouse. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Nikki Morgan. Make sure you guys connect with her online in a house or dream near you, huh?
I'm wishing you all patience in your pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. The next week we have on Thursday we have a couple of guests that we're going to be doing a special Off the Fence. We're going to get you off the fence, and we thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're liking and sharing. Make sure you're subscribing if you haven't subscribed already, and make sure you go visit me at IamHaroldFinch.com. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know my motto: get your asses off the fence.